This is part 2. Amharic. This looks like a question mark without the dot on the bottom, but it has antlers. This is a T with leaves at the end, so it's like a tree. There's a natural vibe here, so this resembles some natural things. This actually looks like a whale. That's the tail. Here's the main body. The lower part of it is submerged, and it's blowing out water from the blowhole. This looks like a person leaning over while sitting. So maybe they're on... I'm not going to go there. Over here we have an upside down Y, but with the lower part broken off and moved over here. Or it's an N with a diacritic. This looks like... I already covered that. This is a colon with a diacritic, which is interesting. Maybe this is the colon. Either is a colon imported from European languages, or this is just happens to look like a colon, but it looks like it's imported. This is like an M but closed up with an arrow piercing it. And let's see. Oh crap! 666. Why is there always 666 in so many scripts? This one isn't even Indian, but Ethiopia does have a lot of similarities to India. This is a C and a 7 combined. So what does Ethiopian script look like? Well, it's similar to Latin, but if you put a lot of leaves on it, branches on it, and distort the letters a bit, then you have Amharic. Oh, I like this T. This T is nice and curvy. Over here we have this is a script most people don't know exists. I didn't know until recently in life. This is the script of the Inuits. Inuit? I think it's called Inuktitut. That's what the URL says. The Eskimos of northern Canada. If I lived in Canada, I would rather live with them than with the liberals. Because you know how liberals are. Oh no, most of you are liberals, aren't you? See my video on how liberals hate justice. There are a lot of triangles here. So this reminds me of, and also you have like a 6. Oh, there you go again, 666 everywhere. Here's a J with an infinity symbol. Here's like gallows and the infinity symbol. Backwards C, D, D, C. Parentheses seem to be imported from European influence, not native to the Inuit language, I think. Let's see. Well, what this reminds me of is mathematic formulae, like this one with a delta. Next we have runes from Old Norse, another language I plan to learn. And Inuit I also plan to learn, come to think of it again. Here you have actually a symbol used in masonry, the square and compass, but put on one side. Interesting. This looks like a fish or an arrowhead. Here's a bow tie. Here's a bow tie with legs. Here's a very tall M. The Norse are a very tall people. This is a B, or teeth, fangs, and just a basic arrow here. This is a cross, an L, as above so below, another Masonic symbol. I'm not saying they were Masons, I'm just saying it matches a Masonic symbol. Here is a Z, another lightning symbol, but in a different form. This looks nice, like an unfinished bow tie. And here is part of the peace sign. I think the peace symbol is a rune of death, so this would be the rune of death. I looked into it a long time ago. So peace comes by death. When you're dead, then you will have peace, maybe. Nope, you're going to hell. Next we have a flag, or a P, an X. Oh, and speaking of the X, this reminds me of modern Scandinavian languages that have like an O with a bar across it. Scandinavians, you are rich people. You can afford erasers. You can erase the O and start over. You don't have to scratch it out. Then you have a basic C. They don't like to be curvy like Indians. They don't like to be curvy like... Who else was curvy? Inuits have a lot of curves here. Amharics have lots of curves here. Or Amharas. The people are Amharas, but the script is Amharic, or the language. Where was I? So the thing about runes is they're very angular. There is no circle here, which is interesting. Maybe because carving it into a tree is more difficult to depict accurately than just lines, line. So and also into stones they would carve them, I think. Old Norse is awesome. I don't actually plan to learn Norwegian or Danish. Danish, I've heard horror stories about Danish. I don't actually plan to learn any of those languages. I prefer Old Norse, because Vikings, even though the Vikings were rapists, they're the most cool rapists in history. Over here we have Tibetan. Tibetan has a lot of these long L-looking things, and some circles here and there. Interesting. Oh, 6, 6, 6, and another 6, and another 6. A lot of 6, 6, 6s. Again, Tibetan looks like a mix of Indian language and Latin script, lowercase, upside down. Next we have, what is this? Oh yes, this is the unmistakable symbol of Tamazight, the language of Berbers, North African natives west of Egypt to the Atlantic. This looks like a tit. This is a Q. This is a Q spun around. This is a 6. Oh, there's another 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. This is interesting. Oh, look at this. This is an H, but expensive. It's man-spreading. It's a man-spreading H. Division symbol. This is the Japanese period right here. I think Chinese people also use this period. Delta. Nice. This looks like a person. Now, if this looks like a person, this would be the phallus. Moving on. Mongolian. Today, Mongolians tend to use Cyrillic because Russia stomped its will in Mongolia as revenge for what the Mongols did to them in the Middle Ages, the so-called Dark Ages. Up to down, that's awesome. I love that about this script. I plan to learn Mongolian in both scripts, Cyrillic and their own Mongolian. I think the Mongols adopted their script from someone else. I've read or heard that. It's interesting, though, that Mongols have a script because they're not into conventional civilization of a great emphasis on education, for example. They're more into outdoors activities. Then we have Phoenician script, upon which Greek was based, I think. So all of Europe has scripts that ultimately derive from this one. I wonder if this one derives from another. Probably not. Phoenician is very simple, which is nice, but here it doesn't look orderly, which doesn't make it look good. Because as established in part 1, order contributes to beauty. So we got a V, an R, an unfinished capital E, a backwards E. What is it? This is an F on acid. Then there's Greek. Greek has the delta, and this looks like a nose with eyes next to it. Delta, delta, delta. This looks like the pyramids at Giza. I think Giza is the name of the place. Or maybe it's the name of a pharaoh. Probably not. Well, what can I say about Greek? Well, I find it to be very cool and epic, and if it's ancient, it gives it extra coolness, so extra points for being ancient. Ancient languages are generally more cool than modern languages. Probably because modern languages are used for rap crap, and rap makes anything uncool. I plan to do a video on how disgusting rap is. Get offended. Get offended. And now I leave with a clip from a video game with dinosaur propaganda. Dinosaurs never existed, as I proved in some videos I did. I used to believe in dinosaurs when I was gullible. Then I questioned what I was taught, and I realized, wait a minute, they never proved this shit. You know, the alleged fossils, how do I know they're real? Because they say so. Am I going to be gullible? No longer. No longer. So, I leave you with a clip from a video game with dinosaurs in it, where they use a fake language. But it sounds awesome, so I just wanted to put it in here.
General Scales, Hiko, Kohud, or Taskuki, Eve Dinosaur Planet. Ud Neokraju, Ui Kimo Nekt.
Am dek kutsuho keivorik oi. Am edko kutsuho rozvejo evu tashkov zuk.
Utashkov Suk? Kiash Niko Kuduk, Ash Atashkov.
Keo cloudrunner kekt mo yorik oi. Keo Olak General.
Moak. Ulak. Ahiko Ilokio, Mudu Tadijwi Kiaro. Kiok. Ash Nio Amit Hiko Kutsash Kudok Nakivu. Ikianajo. Kio Vik Oknush Kokeva Wika Walk Mo. Uetu Oki Sekodwo Mo. Kia Charge Dekelu! Edu Su Tavuk! General Scales! Yeah!